Jelena Ostapenko just unleashed total carnage. She looked dead in the water, then flipped the script with pure fire. Alexandra Eala was crushing it with a 5-1 lead on Linz's indoor clay before a 6-game nightmare sent her home. The total meltdown is the sole reality of April 8, 2026. Within 48 hours, the internet took that heartbreak and fabricated a whole new reality. Rumors blew up claiming the WTA ordered a rematch. 50,000 views later, it's still a complete lie. Breaking down this hoax exposes the chaos of modern tennis media and the mental hurdles Eala still has to clear. The 2026 Linz tournament felt like a whole new beast for these two players. The tour had already bumped the event to WTA 500 status back in 2024, but by 2026 they went all in, ditching the traditional indoor hard courts for slick indoor clay. This wasn't just a surface swap, it was a tactical pivot for the big European clay run. We're talking Stuttgart, Madrid and Rome, with a prize pool hitting $1,049,083. That's a 13.33% raise, drawing in heavy hitters like Mira Andreeva and Ekaterina Alexandrova. Ostapenko walked in as the 4 seed while 46th ranked Eala treated this like the ultimate proving ground. Making the round of 16 meant 60 points and over 15,690 euros, over $1 million pesos. On the red dirt, every inch is a battle. The money, the rank, the heat, it was all on the line. This wasn't just a match, it was a collision between two very different legacies and styles. At 20, Eala is a product of the Nadal Academy, a lefty grinder who lives to outwork her rivals. Ostapenko is 28 and plays pure chaos, flat-out aggression and zero fear of the lines. She's the girl who swept Swiatek 6-0, but her game can crumble into a mess of double faults. Here's the kicker: Eala had actually owned the head-to-head going into this fight. She took her down in Miami 2025 and again at Eastbourne after an injury. Eala was officially her nightmare. That kind of mental edge is worth more than any stat. You could feel the Latvian's anxiety before the very first serve was even struck. The battle lasted 103 minutes, with Eala jumping to a 4-2 lead before the tide turned. Ostapenko caught fire, ripping winners through the clay. First set 6-4, then the second set went off the rails. Eala stormed to a 5-1 lead as Ostapenko's serve fell apart in a flurry of double faults. The Filipino fans in Linz were losing their minds, turning the arena electric. That raw energy, the kind that follows Eala everywhere, was something this Austrian stadium had never felt before. Serving for the set at 5-1, Eala hit a wall. Closing out a Grand Slam champ is a different pressure. The ghost of Ostapenko's earlier comeback started haunting Eala's swing. Her shots got tight, the arrows piled up, and Ostapenko smelled blood at the net. 6 games later, it was over, 6-4, 7-5. The stats tell a haunting story. Ostapenko survived 11 double faults. Eala fought for 68 points. Ostapenko grabbed 74. The score was tight, but the mental gap was a canyon. Mid-collapse, a heckler got under Ostapenko's skin, and her reaction was pure theater. She spun around, waving her racket at the stands like it was a weapon. She dared the guy to come play her himself, then demanded security toss him. The chair umpire didn't blink, following the rules while security stepped in. Official logs confirmed the score was never in question, no glitches, no mistakes. It was just a conduct issue. Period. The match result was set in stone. Ostapenko moved on, eventually falling to Elena Gabriela Rus the next day. Alexandra Eala packed her bags for Stuttgart, a fact confirmed by every major news outlet. But the clickbait ignored the documented sequence of what actually went down. That iconic racket gesture and the meltdown with the fan. None of that happened while she was winning. She snapped when she was down 5-1 and drowning. Just as the door was closing, the volcano erupted. Ostapenko stormed back, sweeping 6 straight games. Let that sink in. Was this a total meltdown or a calculated ambush? Ostapenko thrives in the carnage. She's a major champ who has owned the world #1 6 times over. She had already erased a 4-0 deficit. When the racket went up and the fans turned, the atmosphere shifted. Those Filipino fans screaming for Eala were suddenly watching a completely different movie. Eala was visibly shaken, inches away from the biggest clay court upset of her career. Then the moment vanished. Whether Ostapenko scripted that chaos is anyone's guess. But that timing, absolutely unreal. The real scandal in 2026 Linz wasn't about the tour. It was how lightning-fast a lie can set the world on fire. Within 48 hours, fake reports claimed the league ordered a total match do-over. Over 50,000 people bit, fueled by Eala's diehard and vocal online army. This triple-headed myth did not just happen by accident. First tech glitches and rogue ball boys in 2026 sparked the flame, including a Wimbledon kid crossing the court mid-play, forcing a few points to be redone. Shady channels twisted those minor calls into replayed matches just to farm clicks. Second, tossing that fan was a conduct ruling it never touched the actual score. Third, the Philippines' massive digital footprint is a total goldmine for the algorithm. Headlines like "BUTA shock" or "rematch confirmed" print money even if they're pure fiction. Truth is, the 2026 officiating crew was built for this exact firestorm. Aureli Turte is running the show now, backed by legends like Layani and Murphy. Nacho Forcadell, a 14-year veteran, was the man on the ground in Linz. The infrastructure held firm. The final scoreboard was never in doubt. Eala moved on to Stuttgart. Experts still bet she'll crack the top 30 by 2027. Music. She's got that Nadal Academy grit and a lethal lefty serve. She's already taken down Ostapenko twice. Yet Linz left a scar, leading 5-1 with a set point on the line. Closing out a champion is the hardest mile. What snaps when the pressure hits?